Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophia and this is a very exciting video because there's been a content trend on YouTube lately where I've been seeing a lot of these videos where people list things that they won't be buying in 2025. As a person who grew up watching YouTube, I would always partake in all the trends that were happening on the platform circa 2014, 2016, but I would never post them. So I would film the whole video, edit it on iMovie, and just store it on my iPad. So I think it's very exciting for my inner child to actually take part in whatever's going on. I mean, usually I love watching the different trends that happen on social media and seeing everyone's take on it. But today I was watching this video of a girl listing however many things that she is not going to buy this year. And it made me realize that I actually have a lot of things that I don't want to buy for an array of reasons. I mean, first of all, we all know the economical state of the world right now.
Can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
She's not doing her best. So with the prices being so high and me living in London, I feel like, money has a different value at this point in my life. But more importantly, is because I am exhausted to feel like a consumer. And I am exhausted of seeing all the ads everywhere and to feel like every single second of every day I am being marketed towards. And I know this is a bit ironic because probably before this video started rolling, you had to watch ads that you couldn't skip. I believe that everyone is so exhausted of constantly feeling like they need to spend money. Now, a little parentheses, which I think is very interesting about the culture that we live in. A few weeks ago, my sister and I went to the Billie Eilish concert. And even though I've been a fan of Billie's for years, since the EP came out, sitting in the queue, I didn't feel like a real fan. And I was unpacking these feelings with my sister while waiting because we had to wait for 8 hours, if not more. It was very interesting to see that so many people around us displayed their affiliation to the fandom in more overt ways. Everybody had the t-shirt, everybody had the hoodie, everybody had the shoes. They were all things you would be able to pinpoint and be like, yep, that person listens to Billie Eilish. That's a Billie Eilish fan. In order for you to validate your love for something or someone, you need to consume objects affiliated with that, because a fan who owns the merch is a bigger fan than a fan who doesn't, or is a more valid fan of the thing. I personally don't share that opinion, but I just thought it was an interesting thought for me to have in that moment. Let's get into the list of the 11 things that I won't be buying in 2025. Number 1, labubus. And this is a different take to what I've been seeing online, because everybody, when they say they don't want to buy a labubu, oh my god, labubus are so ugly and I don't get why everybody's spending so much money. Bro, I want a labubu. I have fallen victim to the marketing scheme and I've been seeing them everywhere. I want a labubu. I want a labubu to clip to my bag. However, I am aware that with the popularity of this thing, it also means that it will go out of style in a few months and the new next thing will come up. That's what happened with Sunny Angels, and I know there's a lot of people who still love Sunny Angels, but I had Sunny Angels. I still do. They're somewhere, I think. It's the new hot thing. It's the thing that everybody wants, and then everybody gets it and becomes so oversaturated and nobody likes it anymore. So instead, it's best to find keychains or accessories that I like, particularly stuff that isn't mainstream. Okay, that makes me sound like, oh my god, I'm trying so hard to be different. But I just think those things would have a higher longevity than the new hot thing. If you want a labubu, get a labubu. I don't think that all our purchases have to be vital and useful. I do like getting trinkets and stuff that just makes me happy, that doesn't actually serve a purpose. However, if you do want a keychain for your bag or for your keys or for whatever, I would suggest getting something else than a labubu. Just because you might enjoy the look of it for longer and you might not get exhausted of it as quick. Number 2, birthday cards. I won't be buying birthday cards in 2025. And this is ironic because I went to a birthday party literally this week and I bought a card. No! But I promised to follow my advice. And I've been doing this for years, but I just need to do it more. Instead of buying anniversary cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, I prefer to make them. People appreciate the texture, the feeling of a handmade card way more than a store-bought one. You can get so much more personal with something that you draw yourself for the person who you're giving the card to than anything that you could find in a store. And even if you do find a very nice card in the store, nothing is stopping you from taking inspiration from it and just doing it yourself. And you don't have to be a fantastic artist to do a cute card. I think the scribbles or even a doodle is much more appreciated than something you could get at the store. Number 3, matchas at coffee shops. And coffees in general at coffee shops. This one I am struggling to implement, sort of. Not really. I mean, ish. So much of social life in London, at least in my experience, consists of hanging out at coffee shops. What I started doing recently is making my own matcha at home. And it's been such a rewarding process. And the taste is the same as you would get in any other coffee shop, but the process brings me so much extra joy, and it's so much more affordable in the long run. Number 4, I think, digital cameras and cameras in general. If you want to take pictures, to make YouTube videos, or to just shoot some stuff casually, I don't think you should buy a camera. Or at least not when you're starting out, because the best camera is the one that you already have. I have a digital camera and I also have a camcorder on which I'm shooting now, and both of those devices belonged to my parents before I snatched them away, of course. If you're the same age as me, our parents were quite young in the late 90s, early 2000s, so a lot of them would have digital cameras, film cameras, or camcorders. So the best thing, instead of going and buying a brand new digital camera, is go ask your parents if they have one, because chances are they will. Number 5, notebooks. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty. So guilty. I am the person to buy a bunch of notebooks, write a page in, and then leave them unfinished. And we are not doing that anymore. So before buying a notebook, think if you have another one that's remotely similar. For example, the notebook that I'm using for notes today was a morning pages notebook to begin with. Then I started using it to take a script supervising notes while I was on set. Then I started using it to plan, poetry. I used to write poetry in this as well. I'm saying I used to write poetry like I didn't write this 2 weeks ago, but there's a bunch of to-do lists here, notes from meetings. So it got to the point where this notebook was half full with morning pages, and it literally has morning pages over here. I gave this notebook a specific purpose that I didn't want to continue with, and old me would have just tossed it on a shelf, buy a new notebook for script supervising notes, and then buy a new notebook for to-do lists, and then buy a new notebook for whatever. Like I'm planning scripts in this notebook, I'm calculating bills, I'm writing songs. I just keep using it until it's over, and then I can get a new one. At the end of the day, it's just paper. And yes, I do love having a specific notebook for a specific thing, and I satisfy that urge by having a journal where I just journal, and then every other to-do list that I want to do on paper, I just do in this notebook. Number 6, skincare. Ever since I was a teenager, I've struggled with acne. A lot of the times I've fallen to the consumerist trap of buying the new next best thing that will cure all your skin problems and get this magical serum or this specific acid or this topical cream that will solve everything. And I've spent way too much money on skincare. But at the end of the day, the best skincare routine is the most simple one and one that you can maintain. I mean, obviously, everyone's skin is different, but I think that you rarely need more than a cleanser, a moisturizer, SPF, and some treatment, depending on what skin issues you have. The basic skincare is all that you need to stick to. Nobody needs a 12-step skincare. Nobody needs fancy red light masks that are actually proven not to even be effective. I am sticking to the routine that I have developed, refusing to overcomplicate it, because in the long run, not only will that cost you more, but it will also increase the risk of you damaging your skin barrier, which could lead to more problems. Number, whatever, I lost track, gym clothes. And this is a hard one for me. Because I am quite athletic, in case you couldn't tell. I work out multiple times a week. And sometimes I don't have time to do laundry. So I'm thinking, oh, I could just get an extra pair of shorts and I wouldn't have to wash them as frequently. But actually, there's always going to be the new Define short. There's always going to be the new Gymshark drop. I don't think I need to buy every single one of them. Going to the gym or going on a run with a different outfit every single session is not sustainable. And seeing people do that online does make it seem like it is. But for those people, that's their job. They literally get sent the clothes. So it's not realistic for you to have a different gym set every single training. On the topic of gym wear and gym clothes, one thing that I will not be buying is running gels. Have they saved me on my long runs? Sometimes, but gummy bears and flapjacks and other carb-heavy sweets work just as well, if not better, and they're more delicious and they don't give you stomach issues. I would prefer to fuel with Percy Pigs than with just running gels. Next, pens. I write a lot. I mean, clearly, I'm a person who likes to write stuff on paper. I've been journaling for 6 years at this point. I write almost every day. So pens is a big thing for me. I used to finish a pen every week, every few days. My favorite purchase in the world has been my fountain pen. I don't know if other countries do this, but like in Moldova, when you're in school, in primary school, you have to write with a fountain pen. I don't know if they still do this now, but when I was growing up, you had to write with a fountain pen. So the reason why I got it at the start of this new year was because it made me feel nostalgic, and I remember how fun it used to be to write with a fountain pen. But I'm obsessed with it now because the only thing that I have to buy is the replaceable ink cartridges. So not only does that waste less plastic in the long run, but it's also so much cheaper, and I just prefer the feel of writing with a fountain pen. I will not be buying posters in 2025. I'm looking around my room and just seeing how untrue that is, sort of. I mean, none of these I bought this year. What I want to do with wall decor is, instead of buying posters, I really enjoy printing my own pictures and my own posters. I think that really makes your room feel a lot more personalized and individualistic than buying the posters. The last one on the list, I will not be buying workout classes. And I love a good workout class. However, in London, and I know things like ClassPass exist, but workout classes are ridiculously pricey. You can exercise in much more affordable and satisfying ways. If you want to do mat exercises like Pilates and yoga, there's so much that you can find on the internet. And I know that a big part of the reason why people go to workout classes is to keep themselves accountable and to find that sense of community, which you can't really replace. But I do think that when it comes to exercise, you can achieve the same result from the comforts of your own home. Additionally, in London, we have so many free run clubs that you can join, which give you that sense of community, and you do get to work out with other people. And I think there's a lot of free workout classes as well. I personally haven't gone to many. I've only gone to athlete events. I do think there's a way to go around it where you still get that community aspect and you still get the workout in without having to spend exorbitant amounts of money. That's my list. I would be very curious to hear what you aren't purchasing in 2025. I'm hoping that we can all move to a life where we don't feel the need to buy everything that is advertised to us. And that is so much easier said than done, because so much of our life is spent looking at advertisements, even if we don't consciously realize it. We have power to decide what we do with our money. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. I will see you next week and sending you so much love. Bye.